What if they turn off the internet? The question comes up on the podcast of Canadian church leaders, and the man being interviewed, a bright light of church transformation in the 21st century, dismisses the question like a man swatting at a fly. He doesn't think that could happen. It seems like one of those hypotheticals that people come up with, but has no basis in reality. It doesn't make much sense because the man is convinced that what needs to happen is from the church to move from the analog age to digital age. We have to finally catch up and embrace the technology that has come our way through the invention of the internet. We have to do church online. We have to stop worrying about people, and bodies in the pews. We have to start counting eyes on the screen. But then there's that pesky question. What if we move the church online and then they turn off the internet? It does not even enter into the realm of possibilities. But what if? And here's a cautionary tale. Many of you who watch these in the old country will remember that. It was the 13th of December, remember, 1981. It was a Sunday morning. My brother and I got up to make it to church early before the old folks got there. There was a freshly fallen snow covering the ground, and we made our way to the end of the street to catch the tram that would take us to the core of the city, to the church building. But we noticed that the freshly fallen snow was lying on tram tracks as if no trams have gone in the night. We stood there waiting, but nothing happened, so after some time we made it home. Turned on the TV, there was nothing on. Turned on the radio, all we got was static. We picked up the phone, but the line was dead. Then we began to hear the news. In the middle of the night, the government declared martial law. All the rights of the citizens were suspended, and one of those rights was the right to meet. The church was suspended. We're not allowed to go into church building and be together. It happened just like that, in the middle of the night. It did not seem conceivable to us that that may happen, and that would be so drastic, so immediate. It seems inconceivable growing up in places like Canada, United States, the first world countries, that it could ever come to that, that we could be cut off from each other. But notice what happened through this pandemic. With a single stroke of a pen, we were prohibited from meeting together in our places of worship. It became illegal to come to church buildings, to praise God together. We're not only kept from our church buildings, but we're sequestered in our homes. It was called sheltered in place, just a fancy word for house arrest. And everybody complied. So we're not only kept from the church buildings, we're now put in our homes, apart from each other. And now, why would you think that with a single flip of a switch, someone could not turn off the internet, on which we now are trying to build the life of the church? Just like that. From light to dark, alone, apart from each other. I know it's annoying to have that question resound in the air. What if they turn off the internet? It seems inconceivable to us. But worse things have happened before. So before we stampede into that conviction that we should rebuild the foundation of the church, from the concrete foundations of our buildings into the flimsy foundation of virtual reality, perhaps we should consider the question, what if? What if they turn off the internet? Oh, but they wouldn't. Wouldn't they? What if they do? What are we going to do then?